Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and if there's one thing that you associate Nintendo with is that it is for the kiddie games. A lot of people always give me slack saying Nintendo's for kids and they get all the baby games, and you know what? I think Nintendo does a great job with that because it brings a more broader audience, a more general appeal to the masses. And you know what? Phil Spencer actually just came out with an article, with an interview, saying that Microsoft is actually going to focus on making more casual content with a broad appeal. In other words, more E-rated content to the Xbox brand, which for the most part, Xbox and PlayStation aren't really known for their E-rated games. Looks like Microsoft is thinking of changing that strategy a little bit and adding some more of that type of content. Before we get into this article from Video Games Chronicle, if you're not subscribed, why don't you go ahead and click that red subscription button down over here. Enable your bell notifications so you don't miss when I upload. So it says the head of Xbox would like to create more casual content with a broad appeal. E-rated content is not a strength for us, says Phil Spencer. So the head of Microsoft's gaming arm has said he'd like to see Xbox Game Studios develop more casual content with a broad appeal. Now, if this goes along the side of Nintendo, you know, think of how many E-rated games they have. Usually they get a little bit of slack from gamers in general, especially hardcore gamers, calling it the baby system and stuff like that. I always get laughed at. Not so much anymore since the Switch came out, but I remember during the Wii U era, I used to get a lot of roasting. People were like, "Oh, you like the baby system and stuff." You know what? I think it's not a bad idea to cater to the general audience. So let's see what Phil Spencer has to say. During an interview with Game Reactor, Phil Spencer was asked if the company's first-party software lineup has a weakness or a missing component he'd like to address. He goes on to say, if we look at what people are playing on Xbox, what Game Pass subscribers are playing, I think what is missing from our portfolio is casual content with broad appeal. E-rated content, to use an ESRB rating, is not a strength for us. We obviously have Minecraft and we have some other franchises, but when I think about expanding the creative palette that our teams have, I think it's critically important. So that is actually fair. And I could think of some titles and franchises off the top of my head that Microsoft owns that they could take advantage of. Banjo-Kazooie, anybody? I think Banjo would be a perfect franchise to put out there and make games for that would start their E-rated content. So, I mean, they're kind of sitting on Banjo, if I'm going to be utterly and completely honest. Now, says Spencer has recently suggested Microsoft could revive trivia game 1 vs 100 for Xbox X and S for the Series X and S. The company announced in September that it intends to acquire ZeniMax Media and its game publisher Bethesda for $7.5 billion, with the deal expected to be completed in the second half of its current business year, ending in June 2021. The move will see game studios grow from 15 to 23 development teams, while Bethesda's franchises will be added to Xbox Game Pass, which has over 15 million subscribers according to Microsoft. Oof, I'm stuttering over my words, but 15 million subscribers on Game Pass according to Microsoft, that is huge. Now it says in his interview with Game Reactor, Spencer suggested Microsoft is open to further acquisitions to help expand its software portfolio. Teams that can build new franchises, tell new stories, those are always sought after, he said. That's why I'm excited about projects like Starfield and the next Compulsion game, because I like teams that think about new creations. And frankly, as Game Pass continues to grow, we need to continue to feed that subscription. So with the growth that we're seeing, I expect we will constantly be in this mode of bringing more creators into the fold. So they have been going on record to say that they fully intend to expand that content is key, and especially with the Game Pass subscription service, which I love, by the way, bringing in more stuff, more different genres, different studios, different IPs is the way to go. Especially if they're going to have the xCloud, streaming sticks and the Play Anywhere aspects and stuff like that. They need to bring a lot of things for everybody. So it says Spencer also told the site that while first-party studios can decide on the types of games they want to make, he's keen to ensure Game Pass includes a large number of titles with a beginning, middle, and end so that players have plenty of different products to consume. The last thing I want in Game Pass is that there's one game that everybody's playing forever. That's not a gaming content subscription. That's a one game subscription. That's wow, right? That's interesting right there. He added, if anything, I'd like to see more single player games from our first party, just because that over time we've kind of grown organically to be more multiplayer driven as an organization. So he wants more single player campaigns. That's an interesting take. That cuts out a lot of things, because multiplayer in this modern day is everything. You know, games that you do go on to play forever. Spencer recently said he expects Xbox Series S to outsell Series X over the course of the generation, and suggested Microsoft has already been working on future Xbox Series console iterations. So that's some stuff that I mentioned, but that's interesting what he said about wanting to bring in more E-rated content, more creators in the fold that can make more single-player experiences and stuff. Falls in line with maybe a more casual, broad appeal, like he says right here. What do you guys take from this? I, for one, believe they should fully take advantage of some of their legacy library, like Banjo-Kazooie. Minecraft, sure, that's probably like their big heavy hitter, but I feel Banjo could bring a lot to the table as far as casual content. Let me know your thoughts in the description down below, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.